Hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy For Now. It's me, Isabel, here with the next Summer of Collab video. So I'm really excited about this week's, I'm excited about all of these, like that's no surprise. This week's theme is books I read in one sitting, which is very different than books I can't put down, because I may have put those books down and had to do other things, but I had to find my way back to them as quickly as possible. This is literally basically very short books that I literally sat down and read in one go, which does not always happen for me. The ADHD hyperfixation, hyperfocus, either means I finish a book very quickly or it takes me a while. And it varies wildly. So these are definitely ones that I sat down and read in one sitting or passed out reading and literally finished right away in the next morning. This collab, of course, features Tamika from Tamika's Library and Heather from Hia Booktubes, who I adore. She is such a delight. She is a snarky, sarcastic, just human being, and is an absolute delight to have in your life if you're friends with her. She's just a blast. And I was really excited when we asked her to do this because she, like Tamika and I, also loves a good short book that you read very quickly. And I think it's a, you know, underappreciated. I love my novellas. They are the bread and butter of my reading, and I adore just getting through so many of them. I also love them to explore new authors and see whose writing I like and what to pick up next. So we're gonna dive right into all of the 5 novellas I have to rock for you today. I kind of have a theme, which is weird. I didn't expect that, but we have a bit of a theme. First up, we have ML Sexton's Black Queer Sapphic novellas that I read during the Queer Romance Readathon. These are Long Walks on the Beach and I Want to Give You Flowers. I'm going to talk about them as a group and I'll give you a little bit on each one individually. So I Want to Give You Flowers is a woman whose partner she's separated from is deployed. She does lose that partner in war, so I do want to give a quick content warning here for a loss of a former partner and discussions of grief around loss of a parent, because her new partner in this book is a personal trainer that she hires, then fires so they can bang. And it was just a really fun, quick read. I blew through this book so fast. I think I read it on 1 or 1.5 sprints for the Queer Romance Readathon. Like, I read them so fast. And I loved that about it. I seriously tore through both of these books. And then at the end of that readathon, Long Walks on the Beach came out, which is a second chance and marriage and trouble romance. So they're in the process of getting a divorce, and the wife, one of the wives, because it's sapphic. So one of the wives kind of accidentally, not accidentally, on purpose, crashes her wife's influencer trip to be her photographer. And the photographer didn't have any pictures of themselves, so she didn't know it was her ex-wife. And the ex-wife's entire goal is not only to take photos for her because it's her passion, like her hobby, her passion hobby is photography, but it's also to reignite their love and realize that they're better together than apart. And it was just precious. I loved this freaking book. Both of these were just really fun, quick, queer reads that I absolutely adored. Then we have Silent Night by Evie Mitchell, which I just read, and I literally could not put it down because this book, my first Evie Mitchell, not my last, is 100%, in my opinion, the Princess Bodyguard book based off Roy and Keeley from Ted Lasso. You cannot tell me I'm wrong, because the two other people I know that have read it also agree with me. So I was wrecked this because of this specifically. His name is Croydon Knight, or Roy. And her name is like Princess, what was her name? Princess Charlotte or something, and they call her Keeley because she has a failed wedding situation. A whole embarrassment happens. It's all over the news. She goes on the run kind of to go hide out in Polar Bear, Alaska with her dad's former bodyguard, Roy. And he is like, we're gonna call you Keeley here. Yeah, we're gonna call you Keeley here so nobody knows who you are. Just in case they like recognize your face, we can play it off like, no, you just look a lot like the princess. And we follow their not very slow burn romance. There is only one bed in this cabin. He is so grumpy. He like does not talk, just like Roy, my favorite. And he, honest to God, just is like, it was just the epitome of reading like a fan fiction about Roy and Keeley, but like an AU. And I loved it so freaking much. I was thrilled. It took them a bit to come around to each other, and it was great. The whole thing was great. It worked out perfectly. There's this great bet about Christmas, and they literally, if you've watched Ted Lasso, I feel like this is like sexy Christmas fanfiction. AU sort of fanfiction situation. Listen, Silent Night is so good. And I am so sold on this book, and I will probably be rereading it again because I really loved it so much, and it just gave me Roy Kent and Keeley vibes, and that's all I need right now. That's all I want right now. So that's where we're at. It's fine. It's all I ever want, but that's another point. Next, we have The Four Leaf by Lee Jacquot, which is one that I've recced a couple times. It's gonna be on another rec list that I have going, but I can't stop recking this book, y'all. It is so freaking good. Oh my gosh, so I don't like friends to lovers, generally speaking, unless there's a really solid reason that kept them apart. This kind of had it. Like, he's a rugby star. He's not really around a lot, but they've always had like a thing for each other, and then he comes back, and she definitely hears him masturbating and saying her name. I'm pretty sure it was that way. One or the other. One of them overhears the other. And then they get into some primal play. And I've not read a ton of contemporary primal play. I do have Kink Camp on my TBR. I'm actually reading it this month. But there's a lot of primal play in this, which is freaking delightful. And I love how it worked out. I think the primal play in this was hot as fuck. I think the friends to lovers part of this was perfection. It worked really, really well for me. And it was just one of those books I could not put down because I just could not wait for the next primal play scene. Because like, yes, I love primal play. Didn't think I would, but here I am. I absolutely love primal play so freaking much. If you don't like friends to lovers, you might like this one, because I think everyone I've recced it to that doesn't like friends to lovers like me also enjoyed it, or is very picky about it, has also enjoyed this book. So feel free to give it a try. Then one that I also rec all the freaking time, but honestly it deserves more attention than it gets on BookTube in my opinion, and that is Christina C. Jones's Maybe Next Time. I am head over heels for this book. I adore this book more than I can put into words. This is on theme. The next two are on theme with one of the first books, which is second chance marriage situations. I don't know what it is about these. I love them when they're done well, and this one is done extremely well. Extremely well. This follows Denver and Kenza. Denver kidnaps her to make them communicate about the issues because she's trying to serve him divorce papers, and he's not having it. He's like, we gotta talk through this. I do need a big content warning here. A lot of this centers around miscarriage and grief around miscarriage. And I just thought it was really beautiful how this works in a way. I don't know that it would work in real life necessarily, but sometimes you do feel like, man, I just need to take you to a room so we can communicate properly and not have distractions. So like, I feel like it made sense in the long term for how it all worked out. But I also totally get that like in real life this wouldn't necessarily work. But yeah, he basically kidnaps her to make her communicate with him about their problems, and they work through it. They have some hot sex. And it is delightful. If you watch my channel and you've not picked this book up and you've not read the Vegas Nights series, this is your message to like fix that and read these freaking books, y'all. Seriously, read these books. And last, our next Marriage in Trouble / Second Chance at Marriage is again by J.L. Seegers. I read this as a preview to her writing before I read Restore Me, which is a very long book. And that was her debut. And I'm really curious to reading it, but I was like, oh, she has this novella out. We'll read that first, make sure we like her writing. Boy, did I love her writing. Again, follows a couple that has been divorced. There is implied infidelity. There is an assumption that cheating happened, and perhaps the assumption made does not actually match what happened and or what the truth of the matter is. So she believes he cheated on her and leaves on the night of his restaurant opening. Yeah, so we fast forward some time, and they are on a plane to Tulum for their siblings who are getting married to each other. So that's interesting. And he upgrades her seat to make her have to sit next to him in first class. They end up slowly reconnecting, and truths come out about what really happened when she assumed there was infidelity. And we also get to watch as the two of them come back together, and it's just beautiful. I loved seeing it. They'd been like together kind of since they were 13, and they're refinding their ground with each other, and also tackling some big issues they had around IVF, which was part of the infidelity, just a lot of stuff with that. And he's like a big chef restaurateur, and she is a photographer. And yeah, so we're kind of exploring how IVF affected their relationship a little bit, and also just how they can come back together as a couple. And it was freaking beautiful. I cried a little at this one. But yeah, the book does obviously a big content warning for IVF in the plot and potential cheating. It's not that though. But yeah, I just really loved this. I, again, could not put it down. I was so impressed by the writing in this one, especially as it is a newer author, and it's just really good for a debut, because like it's her second book, but you know what I'm saying, like for someone who's only written 2 books, this is a damn good book. It is well written and it is so enjoyable. So those are all of my one sitting book recs though. And if you have one for me, leave it in the comments, please and thank you. And if you don't want to do that, you can leave me a wedding related emoji, because apparently I am really digging some second chance marriage redemption type novels lately. I don't know what that says about me, but I really enjoy them. I think they're just different, and that's a big part of it. So you can do that in the comments. I will have links to all these books down there for you, as well as links to Tamika and Heather's video. And I will be back to talk to y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll get